I never thought you could have fun without drinking and drugging, without going to the bars, without partying, because it's the way I was brought up. That's all I've known. You know, this is all new to me, and it's opened my eyes. It's not easy, but it's worth it. You know, for real. I love the beach, I love the outdoors, I love going down and playing sports, volleyball and basketball with the vets. I love pounding my mountain bike, just a lot of stuff. I'm constantly going, I keep myself busy. I became a person I never thought I would become. I mean, a monster, that's the only way I can put it. I almost died. I did some terrible things to people. And I'm not that person today, and I choose not to be. I don't want to be that person I was 2 years ago. I'll never forget that doctor in detox saying to me, Tony, at your age, running like you're running, you're going to die in a couple months if you keep doing what you're doing. And he meant it. At first I thought that he was saying that because he's a doctor, he has to say this. But I saw, he knows me personally, and I saw the tears in his eyes. He wasn't kidding. And I'm like, oh my God, Tone, wake up. Like 6 months ago, I remember my mom saying to me, she goes, we were all just waiting for the phone call. And I'm like, what? I said, Mom, that's terrible. They're waiting for the phone call from the morgue or the police. This is what I put my family through. Behind drugs and alcohol and the lifestyle I led. I mean, I shouldn't be sitting here. Believe me, SBH has given me a great opportunity. From the detox to the halfway house to here, to outpatient, to everything, counselors have always opened the door for me. 15 months I've been here, and like I can't say enough how these people have helped me. There's the Tony B sealing and paving business. I told you I had it all, lost it. This is me on one of my motorcycles. This isn't much, but it's mine. I can't keep what I have unless I give it away, because this was so freely given to me. And I wish everyone could see that. If a guy like me could stay straight, anyone can. And no matter what, nothing's worth a drink or a drug today. It's a better way of life. A lot of fun, man. Beyond my wildest dreams.
I mean, my greatest fear every day would have to be going back to the person that I was through one single, simple action. After I was intertwined in the second marriage, we had a child. There was a battle between, the pills and the alcohol and her. So the fear that I had was like, I'm going to be more damaged to a child than anything. So I'm feeding my daughter, and I just, went to go put the spoon to her mouth, and she just looked up and smiled, and she had big blue eyes. And that was it. From that moment on, that it was just a change right there. And it transcended love, if you will. She fell ill, and she wound up passing in October of 2012. And I used that as a crutch, an excuse to give up everything and just go back out and get numb and detached, because that's my default. I lost my job at the time, a place to live, all the money I had, and went into an inpatient simply to get time and shelter and food until I got my taxes back, and I was going to kill myself. And that's how I went into that situation, with those intentions. And somewhere along the lines, it changed. A friend of mine was coming up this way to go to the brick house on 3606 James Street, and he has suggested that there's a training institute within this place, and quite possibly I can get it all done in one term. the support that was given to me by the people in the halfway house. You know, I never had a feeling of like, what am I going to do if I get kicked out type thing. They emphatically told me, you're not going to be homeless. This will work out. Just have faith and everything. And this is the first time like I'm dealing with the loss that I had of my daughter. Completely not known. Completely away from something more than a year, you know, and it was troubling and I was scared. I have no family, period. So the people that I was living with for months on end, and the staff over there more or less became like a friend type thing, family, if you will, which really helped me focus on my recovery. What I did decide to do was go for college courses with theology and psychology, and that's in the making right now. A person that I know now is worthy of love and respect, you know, in every imaginable sense. Where I'm going with it is just trying to share that with as many people as possible, you know, and to be able to help people that can relate to things, and I can relate to things that they're going through, like from a personal experience. That's where I want to wind up.
A few years ago, I became an addict and I began selling drugs, which landed me into prison. They make you write a letter home to yourself, and just to remind you of the things that you're thinking of in there. And this is mine. As you can see, I've never opened it. So my best friend is Olivia McShane. She's my motivation for doing what I'm doing. She is actually a person who was in the same situation as me. We were actually in prison together, and she came home and she just decided overnight that she was going to completely change her life around, and she actually did it. She gave me the advice to parole to a shelter so that I would be able to get into a program such as the one I'm in now, which is the SBH Permanent Housing. The shelter that I was placed in was full of addicts. People still using, people still getting high. Here I am looking for help, and it's kind of like they set you up for failure. As soon as I went to SBH and was able to prove to them that I was actually homeless and in the shelter, they moved me into my apartment. SBH actually came there with me to pick up my stuff and brought me here. So it was pretty awesome. And it was all within like a week. I don't think it took them longer than a week to put me up in this apartment. It's important to me to be a student because that's how I plan to better myself. That's how I plan to get away from the life that I come from. Without the SBH housing, I would be placed in an apartment where I would have to pay full rental amount, which would be very inconvenient for me because I wouldn't be able to do my schooling full time. I would have to go part-time at school, which would not only affect my graduation time, but also affect my financial aid. I have a 3.5 GPA, and I just made the honor roll. Yeah, I just got it yesterday. Hey Ash, so what's new in life? What are you doing? Do you have an apartment yet? Have you swallowed your pride and allowed people to help you? Have you taken advantage of all that you can? I know you and LJ are probably doing everything together. Eating, shopping, movies. When you think of relapse, remember how you missed not being able to see and talk to him when you wanted to. Remember what it's like to lose your freedom. I hope you've learned a lesson and learned it well. Even if you haven't managed to accomplish anything, I still hope that you are well on your way. Never give up on yourself and stay away from negative people, places, and things. Remember, the smallest mistake can land you in a place where you don't want to be. Keep your head up and a smile on your face. And when it's hard to do, always know that you can overcome any situation. I don't remember really writing that. But I did everything I said I was going to do all that time ago. And more.